everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. I had a viewer who was having a question about the tension, how to set it, how did she know if her tension wasn't correct. So let's look at what your bobbin thread and your top thread should look like. Right here, it's too loose in this example. So the two black lines that you see here is the two layers of fabric. So it's too loose if your top fabric, which is the green, goes down to the bottom, and your bobbin thread, which is the red, just is this flat line. It's completely straight. Now it's too tight if your bobbin thread is coming up and you see it on top, and your green thread, your top thread, is just flatlined. It's very straight, and you'll see the loopy part of your bobbin thread coming up. So it's correct when you see only red on the bottom and only green on top. I have two different models of sewing machines. I have a Baby Lock Crescendo and a Viking Sapphire. I looked in the user's manual to see what they had to say about tension, and they both said the same thing: rethread your machine. More than likely, your machine is not threaded correctly. Now, when you first select a stitch, especially if it's computerized, it automatically is set to the correct tension. So if it's not looking right, more than likely your thread is not in your machine correct. So take your top thread out and rethread it. If you're new to sewing and you've hardly used your machine at all, refer back to your user's manual to make sure you have that thread going through your machine correctly. Another big problem is your bobbin is not incorrect. So over here, I hope you don't mind my drawings, but the black is the bobbin case that the bobbin is sitting in inside your machine. Here's the bobbin. If your thread is coming out towards you to your left, it's incorrect. Over here, if your thread is coming out to your right, it is incorrect. So just pop it out, flip it over, and put it back in correctly. Supposing you were messing around with a tension and you selected a stitch and you kept changing the tension and you never got it to what you thought it should be, and you don't remember how it was originally set, what the machine set it at. The easiest way to fix that problem is to select another stitch right next to it, then go back and select the stitch you were changing the tension on. The machine is smart. It will automatically set it back to the default settings that it was designed to have. Have you ever had this problem happen? You bought a new pair of denim jeans, or your kids just got new denim jeans and they tore a hole in it. Now, denim's pretty strong, but there are times it can get caught on something and you tear a hole. Now, the best thing to do is try to fix that hole right away. If you wash it a few times and then decide to fix it, you have a lot of fluffing going on. So let's look at a couple of darning stitches that you might have on your machine. On my Baby Lock Crescendo, I have two darning stitches. One that looks like this, and this line of stitching just goes up and down, covering the hole. This one here does that also, but after it's gone up and down, then it goes side to side, really binding that hole. Now, you can use any color of thread you want. If you want it to stand out, you could use a really bright color or use the same color that your denim is. Now, this is my darning presser foot on my Baby Lock. I don't know if all Baby Locks have the foot that looks like this, because I've only had one baby lock in my life. So this white part here goes back and forth. So you would set it over your hole and move it accordingly. Now remember, it only makes about a 1¼ inch length. If you've got a really long hole, then of course you would have to do a section at a time and then move your fabric and do the other section. Right here is the little bar that attaches onto the shank that holds your presser feet on. So you put this on. Then on my machine, behind the presser foot shank is a lever that is your buttonhole lever. You pull that down to where it is behind this piece right here. And then you would begin your stitches. Now, supposing you don't want to fix that hole. Supposing your kids don't want that hole fixed and they want that distressed look that's so popular with young people. So you could just let it begin to come apart with each washing. That hole will get a little bigger. But if you want to know how to speed the process up and get instant distressed look, here's how you do it. So if you want to put a hole in it, just pick your place wherever you want your holes. You can either use scissors by folding the fabric like this and cutting a hole in it, or take a rotary cutter, which is what I do, and you just put a hole. You can make a couple of them the same length or a couple of little short ones. It's whatever you want to do. Now let me show you how to frizz it up a little bit. Take a straight pin and just go along, here's the opening, just go along the edge of the fabric, pulling on it like this, okay? And you will start to see it frizzing up. Now you could do it, maybe do 1/4 inch wide. Continue doing that and put whatever holes you want. Here's the smaller ones. You may want a couple of smaller ones next to it. And then what you do is you go to your washing machine and you throw that pair of jeans in the washing machine and wash it up. Then throw it in the dryer. And when you're done, you will see it looking distressed. Now over time, I had a bunch of skinny little slits in here. Over time, it will get a little whiter, because you can see on the back of this fabric is where you see the white thread the most. So if you want that to show more, you could just keep shredding it up. This is a pair of denim skirts. It looks like a skirt when you have it on. And when I bought these, it was just a little too long. I'm short, and it just didn't really look right at the length. So I decided that I didn't want to necessarily hem them by folding it up and stitching, because it never looks quite the same. You can't find the matching thread, and it looks like you hemmed it. So what I decided to do was cut the bottom off and fringe the edge. Now this is a polyester blend. So when you do this distressed look on a polyester blend, it looks a little different. So it's not going to quite look like it does on 100% cotton denim. So let me show you how I did this. So cut your pants or your skirt, whatever you want to distress, because this also looks cute on a pair of pants. If you want them just a little shorter, like a capri length, and you fringe the bottom edge, it looks really nice for the summer. But you want to cut it, you're going to cut little slits, so cut it whatever length. The skirt was only about a 1/2 inch, but if you want it longer, then you're going to cut your slits longer. The important thing is to keep them fairly close together. So you go along the edge, cutting it whatever length. Or if you want, you can use a rotary cutter and go up. Then when you're done with that, take your straight pin again and begin to rough it up a little bit all the way around. Then throw it in the wash cycle and it'll look distressed. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that it's been helpful. You learned something new. If you're interested in other tips of the week, and I have a lot of them, there will be a playlist listed below. So if you're a beginner, it's probably going to be very helpful to you if you what we call binge watch. A lot of people tell me they just sit and watch the tips because they're so informative. So to get to those links, you're going to scroll down below your YouTube screen to the description section. Click on Show More or the down arrow, and it will expand open and you will see the links. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy sewing! If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.